What piece of popular dating advice geared towards women that want a boyfriend do you absolutely hate? Get that bag, girl. And quat, any man that can afford to knowingly let you rip him off and lets you isn't going to respect you or value you for it. Guys who want a partner aren't going to let themselves get used. I understand though that it seems hopeless to expect respect from men when the overwhelming experience is no matter what I do I get used and disrespected, so why shouldn't I at least get the most I can out of it? That might just signal that you need to step out of dating and be single for a while. Do you for a minute? That doesn't mean give losers a chance. Though. The choice isn't between being a fee-for-use sex doll and a mommy with benefits. Even when there are definitely guys amenable to those. Women shouldn't be any more sexual than they actually truly feel like being. I've seen advice along the lines of if you won't do something, then he'll find someone else who will. And quat, if a man is good and cares about you, he won't pressure you to do anything you don't want. If he pressures or he looks elsewhere, he's no good. For me, the advice that always drives me crazy is anything around withholding. If you want him to appreciate you, withhold sex/affection/attention. If you want him to start doing the dishes more, stop doing them. If you want him to take more financial responsibility, stop paying his bills. And quat, we are not mind readers. Men are simple. Just communicate. Tell us what you want/need. But don't frame it as an order. Don't say I want you to take more financial responsibility. So I am going to stop paying your bills. Say it like I am handling all of our financial responsibilities right now and I cannot bear the load on my own anymore. Here is what the situation is. What can you take on ? And quat. What is the best habit you have started to improve your health and well-being? I have bad IBS. Starting the low FODMAP diet was life-changing for me. No more stomachache and running to the toilet. Also, the limitations of the diet meant that avoid eating processed food and have a healthier diet in general. I lost the excess weight as I was no longer eating milk, chocolate or sweets. I was indulging in them way too much. It's had a knock-on effect on improving my mental health as I'm no longer in daily pain. Running. I started running 3x/week in 2020. As a result, I have also picked up working out every day and cross-training. Learned how to advocate for myself and my boundaries. I can't. I have to run tomorrow gave me the script I needed to generalize to other areas of my life. As a lifelong people pleaser. Started drinking way more water. And established a much healthier circadian rhythm. All of which culminated to me being the happiest I've ever been and didn't know I could be. I never knew one change to my life could have such an impact. Stretching daily. Moving my body daily. Embodying the fact that I am not responsible for others' perception of me so I can live my life more freely to how I want to live rather than what I think is expected or acceptable. Saying no when I don't want to do something or don't have the capacity. Challenging myself to try new things that I've been curious about. Realizing my worth through ongoing therapy. Realizing we've been duped as women to believe we have to find a partner to be happy or successful. Don't get me wrong. I want one day. But wow, as a financially independent single woman with no kids who has finally truly embodied her worth, I am honestly the most peaceful I've ever felt. They vocalize when they remember something embarrassing? Yes, this has been happening to me for just the past 2 years. Really weird and mostly happens when I'm alone. Some kind of HNNGG sound and maybe a twitch of legs/arms. Sometimes happens when not alone, but then it means that I'm deep in my own thoughts at the moment. I used to death scream for several seconds when this happens. My wife told me I was scaring the children. So now it's a low grunt cough that has taken its place. Shwo-oop, given that in itself is pretty cringe. You're likely one day to find yourself in a self-feeding loop where you remember the stupid noises you've made. Make more stupid noises. Ad infinitum. Perhaps we'll be able to harness your embarrassment loop for some kind of cheap energy. Yes, I came to think about it in terms of, this is embarrassment leaving my body in a form of the sound. Sometimes it's fuck and quat. Sometimes it's oof. And quat. But most often it's ah and quat. I stay silent. But I'm pretty quiet in general. I do twitch though. A big twitch in my legs and eyelids. Sometimes my arms. Depending on how severe the memory is. Interestingly, this also triggers if I'm thinking in depth about a bad idea and it involves injuring myself or looking incredibly stupid. I twitch just the same as if it was a memory that already happened. Yes, you're not alone. I have a tendency to do about everything that is listed here pretty much from what I see. I chuckle. I change the subject out loud. I also murmur under my breath and hide my face with my hands, depending on if I'm alone or not. It seems normal now, and while I'm glad people understand, and I'm just hoping people suffer less knowing more people know of it. This has been something I've had even years before isolation. What is a reason you would stop dating a girl in spite of really liking her? My first girlfriend had a bit of a mean streak, which really started to ramp up in the later stages of the relationship. I copped a lot of it, but didn't realize this wasn't normal behavior. My parents divorced when I was young, so I thought keeping the relationship together was more important than my happiness. Until I realized I was unhappy and I left. Also came to the conclusion that I couldn't have kids in an unhappy relationship. Took me some time to get over her, but I ended up leaving that city and I'm currently dating someone who makes me happier than I could ever imagine. Bad hygiene and excessive weight gain. I genuinely wanted this to work because they're my best friend, but I can't put up with this any longer. In 4 people say so if YRW Ife H as a B a bi and guy NSWAGHT. Y ul el ya ve her question mark and quat. No. When you're young with no kids or serious commitments other than work and you cannot take care of your body. What makes me think you'll be able to do it when you're older with less energy? Kids and work? Nobody is talking about natural weight gain as we get older. It's the excessive gain without even attempting to try and lose it. And I shouldn't have to tell someone over the age of 10 how to shower correctly or to brush their teeth. She was a workaholic to the point that nothing came before work for her. It was Valentine's Day. And I had decorated my room with red balloons and flowers all around. 2 hours before our meeting, I received a text saying she would be late and would arrive after midnight. I waited. And when she arrived at around 2 a.m., she was super tired. She didn't even appreciate my hard work much and was like, sorry. You know my work. I am all for supporting careers. But the treatment I got after doing so much was a deal breaker.